welcome to Death and Aliens, an in-depth look at horror and sci-fi TV from two friends who vaguely know what they're doing. I'm Courtney,
And I'm MK.
and how are you?
I am good. Um, so I did some exciting things this week. Um, I
Ooh, a
went
lot.
I went to a concert with my parents. Um,
What concert? Did I know?
no, I didn't tell you, because I didn't know that I was gonna go. They just like asked me if I wanted to go and I went. It
This
was
isn't the first time that's happened.
no, it happens all the time with my parents.
It's wild to me. Yeah.
It was the Yacht Rock Review. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I've heard vaguely of them.
Um,
I don't know a
I
lot.
I've seen them before. They opened for Train when I went to see Train last year.
Mm, mhm.
Um, they're good. They're like they just cover yacht rock music. So
Sure.
like it was just a chill night. But they had a contest that you could enter where you can win tickets to any of their shows in 2026, but they like pay for your airfare and your hotel to go to wherever they're going. So I did enter that contest and I was like, I like them enough for a
Did
free
you win?
vacation. No, I don't know.
I like anyone enough for a free vacation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who the concert is. I'll go.
They won't announce the winners until September, so
We're
we'll
gonna
see.
prove that exists before then.
Yeah, so we'll see. But then Dan and I went to go hang out with Douglas
Hey,
to
friend Doug, who won't
to
listen to this because it's horror.
this horror.
But
He won't
hi.
listen. Hi, Doug. He won't listen to this. I literally told him, I was like, just so you know, in next week's episode, which for those of you who actually listen to all of our episodes, it's not next week's episode, so it's like 4 episodes ago at this point. But I told him, I go, just so you know, I waited till we were talking about the episode to yell at you so that you would actually listen to it. Because I figured out why he doesn't listen to that part of the episode though. It's not because it's
Hates
because
us.
no, he said he feels uncomfortable when he knows too much about my personal life. Like, because we were said something when we were watching the game and somebody was talking, we were talking about, B got chocolate on the couch and they cleaned the couch cushion and like, they were talking about like cleaning the couch cushions and like Doug's cousin Kara was like, I would have fucking lost my mind. I would have yelled at her. And Dan was like, oh, I wouldn't. I would have been so calm. And he goes, just kidding. I absolutely would have yelled. And then I go, what? You've never yelled at me. And Doug goes, yes, he has. And Dan goes, what? What are you talking about? And Doug goes, I don't know when they talked about it on the podcast. Like Pete was yelling at Sam and then it wasn't cool. And then Mary Kate was like, that's bullshit. Even Dan has yelled at me. And then Doug just goes, I don't like knowing this. I feel uncomfortable.
Poor Doug. That's the point.
I
That's the
know.
point. Everyone
So
should know us. That's so
apparently,
funny.
apparently knowing too much about your best friend's wife's personal life is awkward.
That's so funny.
Couldn't be me. Tell me all of your
No.
secrets.
Oh, your uncle who listens. Which
Oh
of
yeah.
your the one who dropped me to the airport.
Uncle drove me to the airport. Jason? Jeffrey?
Jeffrey? The one with the beard.
Jeffrey.
Nope, not Jeffrey.
No.
Who's the white hair? One's white hair and one's got a long beard.
One what hair?
White?
Why?
Doesn't one of them have white hair?
Well, they're both bald.
I'm thinking of someone that's not your uncle. But the uncle that's bald with the long beard
Jeffrey. Yeah,
and child.
that's Jeffrey, yeah.
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 Yeah. He drove me to the airport after your wedding. We
Yes.
left at 3 a.m. It was a swell time.
Right, because
Um,
he and Sebastian went back to the airport that morning too.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how
Yeah.
he introduced himself to me. He was like, I know you. He was like, well, I know you. He's like,
Yes. He also has a podcast and has like early in the stages was helping me and Monica like set it up and like figure out how to like podcast.
oh,
Yeah.
got it,
So
got it.
hi Jeff, if you're listening.
Hi. I hope you're
Um
still there.
yeah. But ow. I just like hit myself with my wine glass. Um yeah, but so apparently it's weird to know too much about my personal life. Whatever, Doug. But so we were there to watch the Bills game. And I understand it was a preseason game.
It
I
doesn't
didn't
matter.
It didn't matter. Doesn't matter. Didn't care if we won. Wasn't even paying attention to the score. But holy shit, that was a bad game.
Yeah. Rachel's like, I didn't watch your game, but I'm just saying, like, I still have those feelings. Like, Rachel's like, these games don't care why, like, don't count. Why do you care? And I'm like, because we need to know who our quarterback is, and this is like definitive of that. And
I
like,
have honestly, I don't think we have a defense. Like the
Good to
only
know I won't
way.
pick your defense for my
Oh my
fantasy.
God, it was so bad. The only way we're gonna win the Super Bowl this year is if we just horrendously outscore everyone because we don't have a defense. Like it is.
I mean, that was the Chiefs' plan for a while.
I
That's what
know.
they did.
I know. And to be fair, we had the highest point differential of any team in the league last year, so it's not like it's out of like the
Right.
realm of possibilities for us. But man, watching those people who were fighting for a spot on the team, that we literally, the number of times we were like, well, he doesn't have a job tomorrow.
I know. I know. Oh my gosh, that's the worst part about preseason is you're like watching for some of the things you want to see of people you know that are gonna be on the team that are like just learning a bit more, and then you're watching like, oh, God, that poor kid.
Yeah, it got so bad that we quit and played Mario Kart for the second half of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so if you are picking your fantasy football team, which to be fair, this episode,
You've picked your team by now.
yeah, this episode, well, no, maybe, probably. This episode comes out on opening day. It comes out on the 4th.
You've picked your team then. You have to by opening day.
I think. Is there a Thursday
What
night
kind of
game?
fantasy league are you on if you
Yo,
haven't picked
my
before?
league is not picking till the 3rd, like till the Wednesday before. I'm stressed.
I'm stressed for you.
Yeah.
We usually pick Labor Day, and I was like, I can't do it on Labor Day because it's a Monday.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I was like, well, so we always do it that weekend. So we're doing
Yeah,
the
no,
30th.
we're not doing it till
Like,
Wednesday the 3rd.
that's really stressful.
Yeah. So if you're intelligent, you've picked your fantasy team by now. But apparently not all of us are in that boat. Don't pick the Bills defense.
Yeah. I like that pick their defense anyways, to be fair, but I don't know who I'm picking for defense.
I don't know. I honestly, defense is the most interchangeable position.
I know.
I drop defenses and pick
Every
new
week.
defenses up every week.
Yeah.
It is the one position that I have no loyalty to.
Same. Same. I still don't pick the Falcons. I don't pick the Eagles defense. I do pick some of the players because Saquon Barkley has had my heart since New York.
Mhm.
But like I don't pick the teams I hate. Like I'm not gonna pick the Cowboys defense. I don't care. They could come out as the best defense ever. I'm not picking them.
Yeah. Speaking of
But like,
football, I do have one last thing before I let you talk about your football information.
absolutely.
I don't know if anyone here, if the crossover between our podcast and the New Heights podcast exists.
Oh my God. I this made me mad. Is that fair? Is that a fair reaction to what happened?
Yes.
Okay.
I did not listen to the whole episode yet.
I didn't either. I just happened to come across it on
And
TikTok before everyone else did, I guess. I knew first, it seemed.
I'm whatever. She's got a new album. That's well and good. Good for her. Um, the conspiracy theories about her performing at the Super Bowl halftime show because she kept talking about sourdough and the number 47, and her 47th stop on the Eras tour was at Levi Stadium, which is where the Super Bowl is going to be, and Sourdough Sam is the mascot for San Francisco 49ers, who are at at Levi Stadium. Like it was wild, the spiraling that happened
That's really
after
funny.
this.
See, I don't know any of these things.
Yeah, so people are now convinced that she's doing the halftime show purely because of 3 sentences she said on the podcast. But I loved parts of it. I just love because I like seeing people like say dumb shit.
Sure.
And she explained how stupid she was about football before she started dating Travis. And
I said this to Rachel because she
the
also
one
was that way.
Oh, yeah, she didn't know that Travis and Jason couldn't be on the field at the same time.
Yep. I died.
That was my favorite clip from the whole episode.
Yeah. That was I think I've heard 3 or 4. That was the one that just like sent me. And I was just like, I don't know. I just got a little mad. I don't even know that I can explain to you why I'm mad about it. But like,
see, I'm not mad about it because I know so many people who are that dumb about football.
no, not that. Her announcing on New Heights podcast.
Oh, her announcing her album on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care.
Like, I don't know if it's like I don't follow. I see when a new album comes out because someone has told me. Like it's not, I'm not spiraling, I'm not rabbit holing, but
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not the market. You're the market. I get like, I don't know. I can't even explain it. It just made me angry. And like, I think maybe it's because one of the things she was like, I know that like your podcast is mostly men, and like the one thing that men want more on your podcast or want more in football is me. And that's when she like announced it. And I was like,
That,
I
but
get,
I didn't.
but like,
I liked that because it was a little bit self-deprecating, a little bit like referential to the fact that we're all fucking sick of
yeah.
seeing her at the football
No,
games.
it is, but also it's like, then why are you announcing here when you know like none of your friends are gonna hear it here?
Oh no, they all did. I know so
It,
many people. I know so many people who like lost their shit and who like downloaded the podcast and who like I know someone who
I mean, I
literally
saw it on TikTok from the podcast, like, but I
yeah,
follow the podcast
I
on
follow the
TikTok.
podcast too.
Like,
No, I follow the podcast too, but I know people who set alarms for 12:07 so that they could be awake at 12:12 when the when the album announcement dropped because the album announcement dropped before the podcast dropped.
oh, it
Like
dropped before the podcast.
yeah.
I don't know the
So
order of
no,
things.
so the podcast drops on Wednesday, August 13th. The
Okay,
announcement was in the podcast. However, Taylor and her numbers and the way she does shit, she really wanted it to drop at on August 12th at 12:12 because it's her 12th album.
right.
And so that clip of her announcing the podcast dropped online at 12:12 a.m. And then the podcast didn't come up till later in that day. I literally know people who set their alarms to wake up after midnight to watch the announcement drop at 12:12 a.m. and then go
Oh,
back to
I
sleep.
didn't realize she told people there was going to be an announcement.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the part I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I thought this was just a surprise, and it's like your fans didn't have who have been chasing you and following these rabbit holes didn't
No,
get a
no, no,
chance
no.
to know.
We all knew that the announcement was
I
coming at
see.
12:12.
I see. This is how little I see. So I'm not mad at her anymore. She can
Okay.
announce whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah. No, I follow both her and the podcast, so I get it from both ends.
See,
I pay more attention to the podcast than to her.
I don't think I follow her on TikTok.
I don't actually know.
only
You know what?
follow twice.
I don't think I follow her on TikTok, but I do follow her on Instagram, and I follow a lot of people who follow her.
I do follow a lot of people that follow her.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against her. Like I'm always talking about. I'm like I'm not a Swiftie because I'm not. I don't have it in me. Like, I don't have anything against her. It's just a lot of work. It feels
my problem is I don't think I can consider myself a Swiftie because like I don't have that.
right.
I
It's a lot.
like her. I enjoy her music. I listen to her songs. I have listened to everything she's ever written. But like would never pay the price of an Eras tour ticket.
See, here's the thing. First of all, no, I don't have any money, so I wouldn't either. But if I had the money, I probably would. But because it's an experience, not necessarily for any other reason.
But
like it's a cultural phenomenon
you
that
know,
I want to be a part of.
You know who once, have you heard this? After the success of the Eras tour, and as one of the only other artists who has changed genres as many times, MGK is planning on doing an Eras tour. MGK is going to do an Eras tour with all of the different eras of his music. And if you don't think I will remortgage my house to go to that show.
I mean, that's basically what we did for April. I mean, we did not have to remortgage. It wasn't that expensive.
No. But yeah. But he also said he knows that a lot of stuff has come up recently and people are spending a lot of money and he doesn't want people to spend money they don't have. So he told everyone he's going to do this, but he's probably not going to do it for another year or two so that people can save money.
Well, that's nice.
Right?
I also love I love Tyson Ritter. Hate him if you want, but I love Tyson Ritter. He's done a lot of crazy stuff. He's been on a lot of drugs and hurt a lot of people. Not always the greatest guy, but
haven't we all? Just
yeah, we were all young once. But no, he's just phenomenal. And also the one Savannah Bananas game I actually caught was one he was performing at. And I just love can't get enough of All American Rejects. I just can't. I've loved them since the beginning.
So now that I derailed us because it wasn't actually about football, please, what do you have to say? It
sure wasn't. I am no longer. I'd like to make a statement that I'm no longer mad at Taylor Swift. Please do not boycott us. But past that, Yeah, football's happening where I'm having, so I'm in 2 leagues this year. And so my
Mhm.
first draft is Saturday. This is my all guys league, which is going
Mm.
to be very interesting because it's just, I just can't imagine how it's going to go. I can't decide if it's going to be the bane of my living existence or if they're all going to just kind of like take each other out, which is what I said to them today. So, like, because I've never played with them before and
Mm.
they don't, like, a couple of them kind of know my football habits, I guess, but I've never really, like, I watched the Super Bowl with them, but that
Yeah.
doesn't count.
No.
That's not my teams. I mean,
No.
Barkley for life. But
Yeah.
like, other than him, those aren't my teams. So you don't
Hmm.
really know my insight,
Hmm.
and everyone
Well,
else
they
I
would if
know
they listened
half
to
of
the podcast.
they sure would. You ain't lying. They don't know what they're missing. All of this we're talking so much crap to them about like you don't watch one of them have found this podcast. The only thing I told them about, well, Mike knows about it, but like watch them find this podcast and be like, oh my God, these are all of her takes that she's gonna use for the draft.
Yeah.
But it's too late because the draft has already happened by the time this comes out. Because it's Saturday. So like it's like traditional like boys league.
Mm.
So everyone's got like stupid drunk names. We're going to Hooters to do the draft. Like it's
It's
gonna
a
be an
thing.
experience. And like I've only been in the women's league, which is like mixed.
Yeah.
And so like and like people I'm friends with
Yeah.
already. Except Andy. I hate Andy. I don't think Andy knows who I am other than this league. I don't know who Andy is other than this league. I hate him though.
Mm.
I hate him so much. Um, but like I'm used to my women's league and it's like regular people that I know that I talk to outside of this. This league is not. So it's gonna
Yeah.
be an interesting team. But I think I mean I'm really hoping I get my Josh Allen or my Lamar Jackson. I'm really hoping I get I don't think I'm unless I'm first draw, I'm not gonna get Barkley, but I gotta love him and I've had him every year. I don't know who I'm gonna put for my kicker. Have we talked about
Mm.
this? I understand this isn't like life changing, but like Justin Tucker's been my kicker every year. And then my backup was Harrison Bucker.
Oh
And
yeah, we
like
did know we did talk about
we
this.
did
We
talk
did.
about this, right?
Yeah.
So we did talk about so we watched who did we play? Jacksonville is who we played yesterday. And their kicker made a 70-yard goal. And so I was like,
Yeah, and guess what? It doesn't count for his records because it was practice. It was
I
preseason.
know.
So he doesn't get any like records for that.
I know, but maybe I should put him on my team. Like
Maybe.
that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Um,
No, I just feel bad that he did
I
that great of a
know.
kick and gets nothing for it.
I know, bless his heart. But yeah, so I'm still in deep of like I don't really know what I'm doing for the draft, but it's Saturday, so I have a week. Um, but I've been watching the games and oh my gosh, the Saints are stressing me out already. We are trying to find a quarterback, obviously, because Derek Carr, who I've never been more thrilled to see someone retire, retired. And we have Rattler and Hayner, who were our backups last year, and we
Yeah.
have Shuck, who was our draft pick. And last week we had Rattler kind of tossed the towel in. And then Shuck came out, made a bad play, and then immediately made a touchdown. They're really great the second half. We're doing great. All good things. Hayner went in. I don't know how they can keep him on the team any longer.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. So this week I'm like, all right, I've seen a week of Shuck. I'm ready to see him again. Let's see what he's gonna do. Killed everything. Everything he did was terrible. The whole
Hmm.
first half was awful. And I was like, are you kidding me? So then Rattler comes out second half, blows it out of the water. And I was like, so I mean, we'll keep Shuck and Rattler, but like I was really like Rattler is not holding his own because the past like 2 or 3 years, he's not done well.
Well,
And like,
we have two backups that are going back and forth between like who we're
yeah,
gonna actually sign up as our backup. Because obviously Josh is fine and he hasn't
sure,
played a minute.
obviously.
He hasn't played a minute of preseason because why would he?
Right.
Um, but the one who was so Trubisky was terrible week one and White killed it. Yesterday, White, what a joke.
What's wrong with these quarterbacks? Like I was about to jump out of my seat, and we actually ended up tying it. We tied the game yesterday, but like we should have actually won because we intercepted. I was like, we
Mm.
took the ball back, not in our turn. That's what I was trying to say. We intercepted the last like few seconds or whatever, and he made it down to like the 15-yard line or something on our end, and then knocked out. And it was like the
Yeah.
last second. I was like, so we should have actually won. But Tipton, one of our running backs,
Hmm.
I think he's could be a wide receiver. I don't know him that well. This is my first year knowing him. He apparently was also on the team last year, but I didn't know
Mm.
him then. Um, he is the one that's made all the good plays. And like, I mean, Rashid Shaheed was in for like a second and did good
Yeah.
things. I thought Pettis would do better. Pettis is doing great.
Mm.
And Edward Hilaire, he is just got a force to be reckoned with. He is small and stocky and just like pushes through people, and it's
Yeah.
awesome. Which he was Kansas City's first draft pick when they got him 2020, I think. And
Mm.
he won the Super Bowl with them twice. So he's, but we had him, did we have him last year too? Yeah, we had to because he didn't go to the Super Bowl. So we had him last year and this year. And I haven't heard him doing anything crazy. Him or Olave, and they're both kind of like
Hmm.
bringing it out this year. So we we're not, I mean, we're not going to go to the Super Bowl, but we might can make a playoff game. But we're in a good building spot that I think check back in 3 years and see what the Saints are doing. Um, but yeah, so I'm stoked for football. We have a lot of football days. Um, and I just all I want to
I
do is watch football, talk about it.
I just miss when the Bills were bad. Um,
Mm,
this is gonna be the stupidest thing. Obviously, I'm glad that they're good. I like good
sure.
football. I love that we're winning. I love that people are starting to take Buffalo seriously. However, when we were shit, we only played Sunday at 1 o'clock games.
I mean this that's where we're back to that now. Like we were
My
that our whole lives till what, 20
right.
2008, maybe 2009. And then we've been all over the place. This year we only have 12 or 3 o'clock games on Sundays. We don't have any Mondays, no Thursdays. Like
We have more primetime games than 1 o'clock games.
you would.
My sleep schedule cannot handle this.
Our recording schedule can't handle it.
Oh my God. I haven't checked if any of those are Monday night games.
You know they're gonna have a Monday night game. They always do. They always do.
Yeah. Um, while Courtney tells you about the episode, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Can you can you give us some encouragement first?
I sure can.
Thank you.
The key to being a successful intern is what we give up. Sleep, friends, a normal life. We sacrifice it all for that one amazing moment. The moment when you can legally call yourself a surgeon. There are days when that make the sacrifice seem worthwhile. And then there are the days where everything feels like a sacrifice. And then there are the sacrifices that you can't even figure out why you're making.
Facts. Not even just for surgery.
No,
Any
that's
professional
every
field.
day of my life, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, same.
Like right now when I have to look up what our freaking schedule is.
Hopefully it's on a book club night if we have to reschedule it, and then I can just have book club night off. Um, for you to watch a game. All right, so this is, as you may have guessed, American Horror Story, Coven 2. I will be introducing these episodes differently every week, whether I say season, Coven, etc.
Yep,
So just stay tuned.
yep.
And it is called Boy Parts, which is apt. It's a very apt name for this episode. Um, it aired October 16th of 2013. It was rated 7.9 stars. The number one song is Royals by Lorde, which I was just talking about how much I love Lorde.
I
I
do
need to
love Lord.
I've been listening to it. So the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, if you listened
Yeah.
last week, we talked about it. They have a playlist that goes with it.
Oh,
Took my breath away. So does Witcher and Blackbird, but I haven't listened to it. But Pumpkin Spice Cafe, that is the perfect reading playlist. Like I listened to it the entire time I read that book, which took me a lot less time than I anticipated taking. But
yeah.
it's a really good play. Anyway, so Lorde is, I think Lorde's on there. If not, it's Lorde-esque people that are on there. And I was just like, I gotta get back into listening to Lorde if I'm gonna read more
Hmm.
music.
I have a very serious question.
Okay.
Do you get off of work for Columbus Day?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what my job is.
Oh,
I do have a piece of paper that tells me that. However, I
Because
only know when I open my drawer and I look at the piece of paper.
because the only Monday night game we have is on Columbus Day, which means I don't
What
work
day
during
is that?
October 13th.
Let's
That's not
circle back. Probably, because I was gonna say is it the 20th because that's the day I'm supposed to get sworn in, and then I would not be at work, but I also could not record.
right.
Um,
Because if you don't have to work for Columbus Day / Indigenous Peoples Day,
surely, surely I'm off for
that's a
that.
federal holiday, right?
Yeah, yeah, right.
Because
Oh,
if
maybe
you,
text me tomorrow and ask me.
yeah, because I was like, because if you can get off for work that way we can record during the day, and then I don't have to miss a Bills game.
Uh-huh. I bet we can. I bet we could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Just remind me to look.
Okay.
Because I have a piece of paper printed out inside my drawer at work, and that is the only reason I know I should open that drawer
Cool,
and
cool,
look at
cool.
it.
Yeah,
But
so
I
I'll
didn't
text
know
you
for
when
sure.
you're at work tomorrow.
Perfect. Okay. Oh, that'd be dope. That'd be great. And
Yeah.
I just said we don't have any Monday night games because we don't know how to play football. So we will get to play it prime time. Um, anyways, the number one movie is still Gravity, and the number one book is still Doctor Sleep. Um, so this is the day that Ed Lauder, Lauter, you'd
Okay.
recognize his face. He's a big time actor. He died. This is when he died. Um,
Okay.
and this is also the day that Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard got married.
Oh,
I
cute.
love it. I love them.
I hate him.
Speaking of, if you hate Dax Shepard,
Yeah.
why? Like for a reason or like he's an
He
annoyance?
just, I've never seen anything like, I've never listened to an interview or seen anything he's done that hasn't just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, there's just something about him that
That's
irks
fair.
me.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't,
You don't have like like I can
no,
still like him.
you can
That's what
still
you're
like him.
telling
No, no, no,
me.
you can still like him. It's not like he did something like shitty or shady that I'm like
Yeah.
mad about. I can't figure it out
No,
why
that's
he bothers me, but he bothers me.
I get annoyed by him a lot and stuff like that too. But I don't dislike him. But I love Kristen Bell and I
I do
like
too.
their relationship. I followed their relationship a lot and I like it.
Yeah.
Um, if you haven't watched Nobody Wants This on Netflix, you 100% need to. It's
I
Adam
don't
Brody and
have
Kristen Bell.
Netflix.
Who are you? What are
So
your parents?
what happened is my Netflix has realized that I don't live with my parents anymore, and my parents
Mhm.
already pay for the 2 account extension for Bree and George, so they can't just add me as an extension because you can only extend up to 2 more households.
Why haven't my
So
parents extended to me? Why am I paying for Netflix?
I don't know. That's something you gotta take up with your parents. But so I have to
Pay for it?
I actually have to go in and set up an account and pay for it, and Dan keeps being like, we can't afford it. We have to stop paying for something else then. We don't
Okay,
even
it's
watch
$6 a
anything
month,
on.
Dan.
And he was like, we don't even
I
watch.
pay for it.
Yeah, but it's $6 a month with ads, and I don't know if you know how much I refuse to watch anything with
Oh,
ads.
oh, I'm not bushy. I got ads on
No,
everything.
I don't have ads. I don't even have ads on YouTube. I don't
Yeah,
do.
my dad doesn't either. He like came to my house and was so mad.
Yeah.
He was so upset. He's like, "Why are there ads?" And I'm like, "Because I don't have any money. Do you want to pay for this? I
So
will not
we
have ads if you want to pay for it."
plus my student loans come up again next month. So we have not added Netflix to things we pay for, but
That's fair. Just go to your parents then and watch it over there. It's like
yeah.
8 episodes. It's
I don't
fair.
know. That's true. I could just go to their house and watch
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Perfect.
You know you go there. You go there frequently, I'm sure.
Not as frequently as I used to, but honestly, for Netflix, maybe I will.
Absolutely, absolutely. Pick a day off of school and go. Um, Anyways, our director is Michael Reimer, who you may recognize. However, it is not from previous American Horror Story
Mm.
episodes. It's from Hannibal because he was one of the
Oh,
writers on a lot of those episodes.
okay, okay.
Um, our writer is our Tim Minear and John J. Gray. So Tim Minear was the big writer on last
Mm-hmm.
couple of seasons, and then we just talked about John J. Gray last week. And our editor was Fabien Bouvie, who we've also talked about, or Bouville. I don't know where he's from to know how to pronounce his last name.
Fair enough.
Like he doesn't even have a picture on his IMDb page, so like it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, and our star this week, coming off of last week's 50th star, we're talking about Miss Kathy Bates, love of my life. I
Is
am
it
playing around.
is
What?
it bad that I was like, I don't know who else we don't haven't talked about in the show?
Because she's Kathy Bates. Like,
Right.
why would we have not talked about her at some point in our lives?
Right.
Um, I am playing around with the idea of our movie being Misery.
Mm.
So let me know your thoughts on that.
Okay.
World and MK. Um, have you seen it or read it or anything?
Mm-mm.
I've both seen it and read it. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's Kathy Bates is the main. She plays Annie Wilkes. Um,
That much I do
so,
know.
yeah. So all that to say, she's known for Misery, Dolores Claiborne, Titanic, and About Schmidt. She
Okay. While I do understand that those are large roles and that it's Kathy Bates and she's known for everything, the fact that The Blind Side and Waterboy are not in her top known for bothers me.
well, she did have nudity in About Schmidt. That was a big role for her.
Oh yeah.
She won the Academy for Misery. Dolores Claiborne was her favorite role she's been in. And then Titanic, I don't, maybe it's just because it's such a big movie, because she
Yeah.
really wasn't that big of a role. I mean,
Yeah.
she's big in
But
Titanic, but like
yeah, no, but Titanic, she plays one of the only people in that movie who is a documented
real
real life
person.
person who was
Yeah.
on the boat that we know everything about. So it's a very big, important role in terms
Right.
of like the movie. Yeah.
So like, yeah, she's just done a lot. I mean, she's
Oh,
currently on the TV show Matlock, and it's
oh, that's right. She
wonderful.
is. Yes.
Yes, that you have Paramount. Watch that.
Yeah.
That one's good. And it's got Jason Ritter in it. And God, I love him. If he wasn't already married, I'd marry him. Like,
I love him.
just such a
Did you
gem.
ever watch Joan of Arcadia?
No. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
you
Maybe
should.
one day.
Yeah.
Okay, one day. Um, anyway, so I oh, she also she auditioned for the role of Janet Wood in Three's Company.
Mm.
Which is interesting. And then she didn't get it, obviously.
Obviously.
And she came out and she was like, I'm really kind of glad I didn't get that role because I realized after I auditioned for it that I didn't really want it. I was like, that's fair.
It's
That's
amazing.
totally fair. Yeah. So she also was the first actress to win an Academy Award in the Best Actress category of horror and thriller, and it was as Annie Wilkes. So
We love
kudos
Kathy.
to Kathy Bates. We love her. We love her here.
Listen,
Um,
we just if you last week's episode we were talking about how much we love Adam Sandler movies. We were talking about Happy Gilmore. Kathy Bates in Waterboy might be one of my favorite roles of her ever because it is just so unhinged.
yeah, I mean, well, wait, we gotta watch Misery then. Wait till Misery.
No,
Because
but
she
this is a
is,
different kind of unhinged. This is a different kind of
yeah,
unhinged.
I gotta readjust my whole situation. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, it's different, but she's hell unhinged in Misery. Um, all right, so we start this episode on the Bayou, where you can find your husband, as Lana Del Rey did, um, which is always my favorite fun fact now. Um,
It is too late for me.
it's, too, it's too late for me too. I
I
wrote these
mean,
notes at like a regular time of day too.
I did mean the time, but also in that I've already found a husband and it wasn't on the Bayou.
Oh, sure, yeah, sure. You personally cannot find a husband on the Bayou. This was more of a PSA. More of a PSA. Yeah. And so, but instead of finding a husband, they found our sweet Misty Day. And they were obviously hunting and gathering animals, and she doesn't care for that. She doesn't like when you kill animals. And so instead, she brought them back to life so that they could then eat the people that had captured them.
Just one tiny quick aside. I need to stop going on asides because we need to get through this episode. But they, when they were talking shit about her, when she was like asking them about the gators,
Mhm.
they said that she was one of those PETA chicks or something.
Yeah.
Have you seen the most recent thing that PETA has lost their shit about? PETA is
No.
suing, PETA is trying to sue Nintendo
No. Stop.
because in the new Mario Kart you can play as one of the Moo Meadow cows and it has a nose ring, which is part of the evil dairy and meat industry, and the barbs hurt the cows. And so they're trying to sue Nintendo to get it to remove the nose ring from the cow.
Can we just forward them the episode of Bob's Burgers about have you watched have
No,
you watched any Bob's Burgers? Okay. There's an
no.
episode of Bob's Burgers where the like journalist guy brings a cow that he's put a wig on to Bob's Burgers to be like, stop killing cows to make burgers.
Yeah.
And they like keep the cow in their apartment and they like hits people with blood. Like, it's so off the wall bonkers. And that is exactly what this sounds like.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to forward this episode of them and be like, please refer to Bob's Burgers.
Mario turns into a squirrel sometimes. Like this is not realism.
No.
Yeah,
It'd be
so
different if they were like, we're gonna put live action animals in here and we're gonna do this. Like, but no, that's unnecessary. God bless PETA. Oh my God. They're such a disaster these days. It's fine. It's fine. Boop, 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 boop. So then we go back to Robichaux House, and Cordelia is waking everyone up, and to have this family meeting. And Maddie just like opens the door. I call her Maddie a lot. They've never once in this whole show, I think, called her Maddie, but I have called her that a lot in my notes.
fair.
She just showed up in her underwear and she's like, "Is this fine?" And Cordelia is just like done with her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Just everyone get down here." And then some Madison and Zoe are arguing over Kyle because she can't stop looking at his like obituary. Can't get over that he's dead because she's Tyson Farmiga playing an American Horror Story character.
Right.
And so they're arguing over it, whether he's good or not. And she's like, by proxy, he's not. Like, he's still in this fraternity, and he still knows that these kind of things happen. Like, it doesn't matter that there was a one-off that he seemed okay. Like, I was like, you're not wrong. I don't
Right.
normally want to agree with you, but you're not wrong.
No, like they were both 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
Like she had a conversation with him. She felt who he was. She saw what he did when he found Madison like fucked up, like when he tried.
Yeah.
Is it Madison?
Yeah, it's Madison.
Oh, okay.
Madison
Jesus, I
Montgomery.
couldn't think of her name. But so like Zoe saw who he actually was and was like, he's different. Fine. But also, Madison's not wrong. Like
Right.
he voluntarily associates with these people and goes to these kinds of parties where these kinds of things happen. And if those guys were so quick to do it, that, I'm sure it's not the first time they've pulled some shit like that. And
And his
so,
response wasn't to turn them in, but to send them to the bus to get them out of there.
yeah,
Because they acted out. Like,
yeah.
yeah. So, yeah. I agree with Madison a lot for someone I really hate. Like,
Oh yeah, no, I fully want to punch her in the face, but I also they they have very different experiences of the male world.
mhm.
And I think that they are both correct, but that to ignore their point of view is how you can't see the other side.
Right.
Zoe literally has had one boyfriend and she accidentally killed him the first time they ever did anything like sexual. And this guy was really, really nice to her and they had a really deep conversation. With her limited experiences with men, that's a really good guy. And he could very well be a really good guy.
Sure. Yeah.
But Madison's been famous since she was 5. She's
Mhm.
never met a really good guy.
Right. Right.
So,
Yep. Just it is what it is. So, so then we go back to Fiona, who is also being summoned to this meeting. And she's like, 1 minute, because she's got Madame Lalaurie tied up in her room. And she's trying to figure out immortality. She's like, you've got it, and
I
I
want it.
yeah. So how do we do this? And then we get a flashback to Detroit, 2012. And this is where we get a little bit of backstory of Queenie. She was working in a fast food, like fried chicken restaurant,
Mhm.
and she had a guy who was inappropriately rude to her, and she just stuck her arm right in the fryer, and that of course fried his arm. And she's like, they were like, "Did you get arrested?" She's like, "No, no one saw me throw oil on him." because I didn't throw oil in it.
Right.
And she was like, but that's how I ended up here. Which I guess is a good reason to end up there. That's fine.
Wow, whether he deserved it or not, you did magically assault someone.
Right. Oh, 100%, 100%. So we go back to today, and this was talking about how she got in trouble, got away with it, and she says growing up that she didn't know that black people could be witches because she's used to the Sarah Goods, she's used to the Charmed, like
Hmm.
she grew up on like TV witches, and then she was like, but then she learned that she was actually a descendant of Tituba,
Tituba.
Tituba,
Tituba.
yeah, I was like, if I said it right, who was uh who was a black witch who had like created a lot of the um I guess the like
So
foundation of
yeah,
magic,
so
which we
so
get more into.
yeah, but so Tituba was a real person. She was an indentured servant in the Salem colony in Massachusetts, and she was a cook. But because in the time period where people were super racist and also people didn't raise their own children, she spent a lot of times with the young women in the colony, and she was descended from medicine men in Africa, and so she was doing what may or may not be voodoo. It's not really clear in the history whether she was just doing herbal medicine or it was actually like some type of African voodoo. Um,
Yeah.
and one of the other girls who was not friends with the girls who Tituba worked for, um, basically accused all of the girls and Tituba of doing witchcraft, which was the beginning of what we know as the Salem witch trials. Tituba is also the only character in The Crucible that is a real person. While the other girls
Oh, I
are
didn't remember her being in the Crucible.
yeah, all the other girls in the story are conglomerations or based off of the real girls in, but I don't believe they have the same names. However, Tituba's name has in both history and fictionalized versions of the Salem witch trial, her name is always there.
Well, is Sarah Good? Is that the real name for Salem, or is that like the name they carried through by
I'm
lore?
I actually that one might be real. I don't remember all the characters in the Crucible, like what all the girls' names are in the
I mean,
Crucible.
that's the only one that sticks out to me because it's not just in the Crucible. I think it's in the Crucible, but it's in every other like rendition, I guess. But I didn't know if it was like I know sometimes they're like,
Yeah, no, Sarah Good, her is the real girl. Abigail Williams is the character
oh,
in
okay,
the Crucible. Yes.
gotcha.
So, yeah.
Um, yeah, and it said something about, so I don't know nearly enough about Salem witch trials. Maybe that'll be the next book I read. But like they said that Tituba was actually one of the first witches burned at the stake too. Um,
Which I don't know if that's true, but
that's what it said. That's what the trivia on IMDb says. So
okay.
we never know what that means. Uh, oh no, my
No,
this.
she was the very first person to be accused.
Oh, maybe that's what it
She was
was.
the first person to be accused. She was never actually burned at the stake. However, there is no record of her after 1693. Like she just it
Mm,
stops existing in the records, which so we don't
yeah.
actually know what happened to her. She was the first person accused. She was kind of the center point of it. Um, but she was a slave. She was originally from Barbados. Uh she went to jail. She was held in jail for over a year, and then some unknown person paid her bail, and she disappeared from the records.
Hmm. I love that. I need to know more about it.
Yeah, she's very fascinating. Um,
Hold, please.
Holding. Um, there's also not really any, like, she may or may not have had a daughter. That, like, the records aren't clear because it's the 1690s and things were kind of fuzzy. But yes, so she was never burned at the stake. We just don't actually know what happened to her. So the idea, the fictionalized idea of her disappearing from Salem, running to New Orleans, meeting with the other witches, creating a coven, like that is all theoretically historically valid because we have no idea what actually happened to her after she was taken out of jail, and we have no record of who paid for her bail. We know it was posted. We know she got out of jail. We don't know who did it.
Got it. Got it. That makes sense. Um, that makes sense. I'm glad you explained that because I didn't know a lot about her.
Yeah, I don't know as much about
Um,
New Orleans as you do, but like give me New England witchy
yeah,
shit, I got you.
absolutely. And so Queenie is descended from her. And so she didn't know about black witches until now. So then detectives show up and they are talking to Zoe and Madison, obviously, and Madison is acting and, I don't know what you're talking about. None of this is real. And Zoe is useless. They ask her,
Oh,
like,
useless.
why she went to the hospital, and she breaks. She tells every secret she can.
She's like, I
She's
killed
like,
him and he deserved it. We're all witches.
we're all witches. Call the people up, like, tell everyone. And I'm like, first of all, none of that is necessary. Like, even if you were gonna admit to what you've done, there's no reason.
And listen, I'm aware that the concept of witches and witchcraft in New Orleans is a little more open-minded than in other
Sure.
places in the world. I get that.
Right.
But after that outburst, knowing that it is a boarding school for people who have already had public breakdowns
Yeah.
because Madison's there, all Cordelia and Fiona had to say was, I'm so sorry. She's not well.
Well, that's what they tried to say. And like they didn't seem to want to believe it because that's what she said. They were like, she's
Right,
very unwell, girl. Like,
right. But like how what did the police think? Like, I don't understand that detective. That detective's a fucking prick because
he is.
this teenage girl who just lost her mind and started crying about everyone being witches and magically killing people. I That's not a confession.
No, it's not.
That is
And
cause for institutionalization.
right, right. And like it's just
Which,
so wild.
fun
And
fact, she's already technically in an institute.
my guess is that these particular detectives already know what this house is about because that's the other thing about like New Orleans is like we have these kind of places and everyone knows they're there,
Right.
whether they talk about it or not. And so like it's possible that these detectives are like, we know this, and therefore we are going to target this place because of what it is. And so that's more of what I thought it was, as
Mm,
opposed to just like, I mean, I
yeah.
think he's kind of a dick. Like that's a
Yeah.
true story. But that's my guess, just because it is so like widely known, even if it's not talked about in
Right.
most places. Um, but don't worry, Fiona to the rescue. She comes and she spits in water that she feeds to the detectives, and that's and then takes over their minds. It's
I don't really
very
understand what she did. I don't understand why she couldn't just give them water and then have magically change their minds like she did with other people. Why did she have to spit in it and
yeah,
be creepy?
yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was harder to scramble their minds as opposed to just making them forget something like she did with the tour lady. Because she
Oh,
said she was going to scramble their minds, and so maybe that's why it had to be like a little bit of magic inside them too.
what?
Um, I don't know. It was bonkers. Um, but then we go to Madison and Zoe who are arguing, and Fiona bursts in and throws them both against the wall. And she's like, here's what you need to know. There is no one to be afraid of. There is nothing you have to worry about. If it comes to anyone outside of this, the only person you have to fear is me.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, correct. She's like the strongest person on the universe. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, she can fix anything. She is who the gangsters needed because she is the prime fixer. Like she can kill or change minds, and no one knows either way. Like,
Could you imagine if Al Capone had her?
could you imagine if gangsters and witches met like work together?
Oh, that's a book you should write.
Oh, TM 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 TM. Where's my phone? I have a running list. Oh my gosh, that is you're a genius. Genius. Where are my books?
Like Prohibition era gangsters and like New Orleans witches. I'm so fucking in.
Yes. I love that. I'll tell you all my book ideas, but not on here because I don't write still.
Except for how many of them came from me telling you on here you should write a book about that.
None because I always forget. These are brand new. These are
Oh,
these are
this
car
is a new list. This
ideas.
is a new list.
It's a new list, yeah. Um, anyways, genius. Okay, so then Madison and Zoe, because why not just keep causing trouble, break into the morgue. And Madison has brought this resurrection spell with her. Has she done resurrection before? No.
Of course
Are we going to
not.
go ahead and call the devil anyways? Sure, why not? And so she goes to bring back Kyle, and he's just in pieces, which is disturbing, and I didn't remember that part
What
until I
if?
watched it.
Well, I totally understand that this is just a show. What if Emma Roberts wasn't a dick until she did this and she actually did a fucked up magic spell and called the devil into her body, and that's why she's a piece of shit now?
Well, since we know that they had public issues in 2011 and this came out in 2013,
She
it
wasn't even
does.
dating him till 2012.
Oh, they dated in 2011. What else
No.
happened? I thought I saw something else came out about her in 2011.
I mean, maybe. Maybe she was just a dick, but her and Evan Peterson started dating till 2012.
Maybe so. Let's see. No, on July 7th, 2011, police were called to a hotel in Canada for a disturbance involving Roberts and Peters.
Oh, why did I see something that said they didn't start dating until 2012? Hmm.
Hmm.
All right.
Anyways, but yeah, so unfortunately our timelines don't work out,
Mm.
but could have been. Could have, and if 2012 even could have, because you film earlier. But
Yeah.
no, she sucked before. So unfortunately, this is not the devil in her, it's Hollywood.
Damn.
Um,
Okay.
I know. I know. What a bummer. Um, so she decided, she's like, you can build your own boyfriend. So we're gonna pick the best parts of all of these dead men and put them together. And I guess because of fraternity, they were all white, so it doesn't really matter. You can't really tell the difference when you piece them all together. But that was a concern. I was like, this is gonna look really weird when you
Oh
pull different parts of
my
different colored
God.
people. But
Could you
don't forget.
imagine though? Like, could you imagine if it was all like the same except for like the penis was a different person, like a different color?
But I was thinking of stuff like people see. Like, not everyone's gonna see his penis.
I know,
Like
but that
everyone will
would,
see his
I
left
think
arm.
that's true, but I think it would
Like,
be even weirder if it was like coherent everywhere else and then he just had like an Indian penis.
I mean, yeah, of course. But then not it doesn't affect everyone though. If you're gonna make it weird, I want it to affect everyone.
Fair.
So like a left arm. You get a left arm that's different than the rest of your body. Um, but no, don't worry, he looks normal because it's his body. Um,
Because it's actually just Evan Peters with makeup.
right. Um, but yeah, so they put this body together, they do this spell, they lose their minds. They call the Lord of the Underworld. Bless you. Um,
Um,
and it's just a nightmare. So then we go to a doctor's office, and Cordelia's there with her husband Hank. And turns out she's been trying to get pregnant.
is it
And
now
it's
was this a flashback or was this happening for real?
no, this is right now. This
Oh,
is right now.
I thought that all of the baby stuff was a flashback.
Nah, nah, nah. As
Okay.
current day, present day. Um, this is in her off hours. Well, that's how they've escaped to the morgue, I'm sure, because she's not there. Um, but she's at the doctor's office with her husband, and she's trying to get pregnant, and she can't, and she's taking all her medicine like she's supposed to, and they're like, it just looks like nothing's happening. And so he's like, why don't you use magic? Like, why don't you just take some of what Fiona does and do that? I know you can. And she's like, I really don't want to get like intertwined with dark magic. And
Yeah.
he's just like, I don't care, I just want a baby. And she's just like, bad news, bad news. So then we go back to Fiona and Laurie, and um, they're talking, and we learn that it's been 180 years since she's been thrown into this hole. And she obviously has no idea. Um,
Yeah.
And so we get the flashback to what actually happened. And this is the story that I tried to tell in the last episode that it was not time for yet.
Correct.
So Madame Laveau gave her this potion. And it turns out that it was this is what I was talking about where they brought the crowd, everything was fire. Because they do actually light her house on fire in real life, in like regular days. They didn't seem to do that in the episode, but that is what happened in reality.
Yeah.
But they all
Which
come.
the only reason that it irked me a little bit is because it was so easy to do that. Because in real life, when the house caught on fire, she disappeared and no one knows if she survived or not. So
Yeah,
it would be so easy for that to be the story because her surviving the
that is the
fire
story.
is the story.
Right. Yeah. So in this version, she's tied up and thrown in this box, but before that happens, she finds her family, or she shows her family that have been hung,
Yeah.
to get back at her for everything she's done with slaves and whatnot. And um, in her real life, she actually tortured more than just slaves. She would have people come and stay at her house for work, and then she would torture and then kill them. She had more family members. She had, I think it was 3 daughters and 2 sons, which is not what is depicted here. Um, like you said, in the real story, she disappears. It is, what was I going to say? It's believed that she actually left the country and went to Paris.
Yeah, so I was gonna say
And
they pretty sure she went to France and that,
yeah,
but
but they do think she came back because 70 years after they thought she died, they did find her resting place here. So they do think that she did go to France, but that she actually came back here and when she passed away. But they imagine, I mean, she had more money than God at that point, and so she
hmm.
went and lived her best life in Paris, and no one ever knew any better. And that's probably what happened. Like, there's obviously plenty of theories, but that is the
Yeah,
most
I
widely
was gonna
believed
say
one.
the theory, I thought she died in France. Like that's what I was under the impression of.
Well, that's what I mean. There's a lot of differences. I mean, there's she died in France. There's she died here. But no one ever found her body. Like no one knows where she died. They found her breast, like her like gravesite or something after like here,
Yeah,
but
but
it wasn't
they didn't find it till the 1920s. So like who knows
right.
if
That's
it's
what I'm saying.
even
It was like
yeah, so
70
who
years
knows if it's
later.
even real.
Right. Like there's plenty of theories that somebody else's body is buried there. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
same. We'll get into that too with Marie Laveau. But like
Yeah.
there's tons of theories. No one ever knows what happened. And honestly, she
There
probably just got away with it, and it was stupid.
there is a record of her death in French art in Paris archives though.
Yeah, yeah,
So I mean, she could have faked her death in Paris too, but there is at least a
hmm
documented record of her death in Paris.
yeah. It's just this whole time period is a disaster.
Right.
Um, so now we're back at the morgue, and I put this is not a good work episode because they're like building a human body on a morgue table, and like Joe is walking by me, and I was like, just don't look at my phone. Just don't look at my phone. Because I look like a crazy person. Um, so they're breathing in the smoke, and they both just start screaming when they do this whole situation. Um,
That's very odd.
and so he says, "Did we just marry the devil? Because I didn't sign up for
It's
that."
like I don't think I'm down with that.
Yeah. And then they go to Madison's like, "Well, it didn't work. Sucks to suck." And so she goes to leave, and she's like, "Wait, I left my phone." First of all, this girl is the worst actor. She's a great regular actor.
Yeah,
Chloe is a terrible actor.
yeah.
Yeah.
This part though, she's like, "Oh, I'll be right there. I have to get my phone," and then she starts to go back in the morgue. Dan goes, "She's not gonna have sex with a dead body now, is she?"
So here's what I want to float by you. Uh, what if it works in reverse and
That's what
they're
I was
dead?
thinking. Honestly, I was thinking that she was gonna try to figure out if that was true, and she was gonna like necromancy sex him back to life. I was 100% prepared for that to be what it was. Dan was also prepared for that in terms of story and not prepared for that in terms of what he's comfortable with. He was like, please don't have sex with a dead body. Please don't.
I honestly couldn't remember how this happened, and so I was like, maybe that's what happens. I don't know. Um, But what a wild power would that be? Like, because also think about it, if that's your power, you could kill someone and then bring them back to life, theoretically. So, theoretically, you could have a partner. It would
Yeah.
suck for your
Yeah, but
partner.
like
But
yeah, ooh, no. But the way that she
honestly,
kills them just fries their brain.
yeah. But maybe if you kill them and then bring them back, they're now immune to this power, this curse.
Who
There's
knows?
crazier things that could happen. Um,
Yeah, I never thought I'd see somebody stick their arm in a vat of oil and not have it do anything to
right.
them. So
Sure.
like,
Anything's possible. And then so then the morgue guy shows up because perfect timing and whatnot. And Madison's just like, peace out, you're on your own. And just like ditches. And she she's still there obviously when he finds Zoe and he's like, what the heck is going on? And he's like, as he's getting ready to like handle the situation, Kyle comes back to life and kills him. Aggressively kills him.
yeah.
Um, and so he has to be like, stop, don't do that, don't do that. Um, and so then we go to Fiona, and she has gone down to the ninth ward, you know, where Kyle's family lives. And
Where Kyle's family lived, but then the hairdresser says there's no white women in that entire
right,
neighborhood.
yeah, which is not true then or now, but it is a predominantly black neighborhood.
Right.
Um, But for those of you who don't know the Ninth Ward, it is a lower income. It is in the eye of the hurricane. It gets torn down and built back up. Like it's a hard area to live in general.
Yeah.
But it's cheaper to live in, so a lot of poor people live there. But they've actually built it up quite nice. I had ramen there like 6 months ago and it was quite tasty. So they're building it up. But not in 2013.
No.
So she's at the salon. Obviously, she's come to find Marie Laveau, and Marie Laveau walks in and sends everyone away. And then we go to Nan, and Nan keeps hearing people, and she can't deal. She's like, "This is too much. I can't function. You have to be quiet." And so she goes and follows the sound, and she finds Madame Lori. No questions asked, just lets her go. She's like, please leave, you think too loud. And Madame Lori is just like in shock, obviously, because she's been tied up for 180 years and now this girl is just letting her go. Um, and as she comes out, Queenie is like, oh my god, you smell so bad, who are you? And then she thinks Queenie's a slave because Queenie's black, it's 180 years later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
because in
just
1934 there were black people who weren't slaves.
right. And so then
Or sorry,
1834.
not 1834, not 1934.
Yeah. And
Very
then
different.
yeah. And then she knocks Queenie out. And we go back to the salon. And I meant to look up more about the history of witches and voodoo and the overlap because they are very different. Like they're very different styles of magic. They're very different of who
Hmm.
created what. There is some crossover, obviously,
Yeah.
because it's a lot of magic and spiritual elements and whatnot, and a lot of working. I mean, they both work with the earth, and they both work with like
Hmm.
energies and stuff. So like, there's a ton of crossover. Obviously, witchcraft is a little more white historically, and voodoo is a little more black historically, but like, there's still other elements.
Yeah.
But I did run out of time, so I did not do as deep of a dive as I wanted to. Um, so this is where we learn more about Tituba because they're talking about her. And they learn about like necromancy and stuff. They're talking about that being kind of the beginning of it all. And they're
Yeah.
arguing over who who came first, the chicken or the egg, basically.
Yeah.
And then they talk about the St. Louis tomb, which she calls St. Louis #1, and I was like, it is St. Louis #1. Unless someone's lied to me my entire life, but we're French here, so
Yeah, you know what? You guys are French, and I would assume it was St. Louis, but when I was there and I went on the tour, I was told it was St. Louis.
St. Louis. Maybe it is St. Louis Cemetery. Must be St. Louis Cemetery. That sounds right. I don't know. I guess when I see it separate from cemetery, I'm
Well,
like,
no,
this
yeah,
is
when I see it separate from cemetery, I always say Louis because I think of like Louis the 14th and everything. And but
no.
But no, but now that you say that, I'm like racking my brain, and granted it
Well,
was
now that I'm thinking about it, because like I think because it is the St. Louis Cemetery.
yeah, because when I went
But when
because
I
when
see
no, the part that was weird to me is now I'm fully aware that it's St. Louis Cemetery and that it is St. Louis #1. I have
yeah,
never heard somebody say it the way she said something
I
about
don't think I have
the
either.
way she said I've been down to St. Louis #1, and I was like, the fuck did you just say? So
I
it
know.
wasn't just you. It was
Okay.
something weird about the way she said it. However, I do think it's St. Louis.
I think it is because it is St. Louis Cemetery. And I think but she did say it wrong.
She said it
It's like the
weird.
phrase maybe the phrasing is wrong, something.
Maybe the just the
Um,
way she formed the phrase was weird.
yeah. So to dive in, the St. Louis Cemetery is downtown in the French Quarter. It is our oldest cemetery, is where you are going to find our most historical bodies. They bury a lot of people above the ground. For those of you who don't know the quick history, we bury our people above the ground because of flooding and water, and they will just wash away if we don't.
Correct.
So that's that's the cemetery. Would you like to talk about your experience in your history that you know about it?
Yeah, so I went there. That was one of the places I went when I toured New Orleans. I I have talked about it on the podcast before because I will never stop talking about Nicolas Cage's tomb that he has already bought for himself, and how weird it is that people kiss it. And when you're on a tour, they kind of tell you to not touch things. However, no one in the history of ever has gone into the cemetery and not touched things. Um,
They've blocked everything off now. You can't touch things anymore.
People figure out ways to do it, I'm telling you. Because I think there were cordons off when I was there too, and that did not stop there from being
No,
marked.
it's
It's
like
like,
there's newer since 2020. We've upgraded, like they've upgraded
oh,
more. Yeah,
okay. Because I was gonna say, because I was there in what, 20, it was 2017 when I was there.
2017.
I was there in
Mhm.
2017, and there was like theoretical barriers and just did not stop people.
Yeah.
But
Well, no,
so,
like there are like there were ropes and stuff before, but there's like metal gates now.
oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and so what Fiona says, what Jessica Lange's character says is that if you go to St. Louis Cemetery, there is a tomb of Marie Laveau, the
Mhm.
voodoo priestess, and that people will mark crosses or put symbols on the tomb. However, what I learned when I was there is that while that tomb is labeled Marie Laveau, it is unclear and undocumented whether that is the actual priestess, voodoo priestess, like Angela Bassett's character Marie Laveau, or
Mhm.
one of her daughters who were all also named Marie Laveau. Which they don't actually go into it very much in this, but like in the very first episode of the show when Madame Lalaurie is introducing her daughters. Every single one of her daughters is named Marie Delphine, whatever their name is. Naming your kids the same name as you and then having like a third middle name that is what you call them is very common, especially in like South Louisiana culture, and other parts of the South, but it's also a very French thing.
I was
So
gonna say
this
it's a very French thing.
it's
Yeah.
very French thing. So Marie Laveau had three daughters, all of whom were also named Marie Laveau. And there's also all kinds of things about like her and her daughters looking very similar in age and her not aging and her trading places with her daughters to do weird voodoo things that like and tricking people. So her and her daughters were very, very close as well. And so this tomb that everyone thinks belongs to her may actually be one of her daughters. And we don't know if it is, but there is no second tomb. So
Yeah.
like we don't so if she isn't buried there, there's no record of where she is buried.
Right. And it's more likely that it's not just one set of bones there because that's
Yeah.
not really the style. They buried bones on top of bones, and so it could be all of the Marie Laveaux. It could be one of them. Really, it could be none of them.
Yeah.
Because one of the big shticks is that she is immortal. That she still people like to this day still say they see her in different places,
Yeah.
and so some of that has to like that's when they started saying that she would switch places with her daughters when her daughter started looking older than her. And she was like, she started out as like basically a house call. She never intended to be the religion she became, basically,
Hmm.
because she just helped people when they need her. And she was one of those people that she would just show up at your house and say, you need me. And they'd say, I don't know what you're saying to me. And she's like, I'm here because you need me. And then whatever it was would get fixed.
Well, and
And
she also was a big part of the introduction of voodoo to the non-black communities in New
right.
Orleans. She was basically whenever there was something that doctors couldn't fix, she would randomly show up with these herbal medicines. And to be honest, that's really historically probably all it actually was herbal medicine. But she would show up and these rich white women who had no contact with black or biracial people outside of slaves would meet Marie Laveau and her weird
Mhm.
herbal medicines, and it kind of like spurred the mysticism around voodoo. And so
And it,
the idea of this voodoo as a like culty religion was actually basically like hair parlor gossip by white women who didn't understand
yeah.
what she was doing.
Well, the thing is, like, she was using a lot of hoodoo elements that she grew up in. And then, so she actually caused a lot of controversy because, like I mentioned earlier, hoodoo is opposed to religion. And so a lot of the people who are in hoodoo didn't like that she was doing these things.
Hmm.
However, she was making a living, and that was really her goal. I
Yeah.
mean, she went on a lot of different things. Like, she was all about making money. That was part of it. She helped
Yeah.
people, but she made a lot of money doing it.
Right.
Um, and that kind of, it was almost like a spin off of hoodoo, is how this like voodoo came around, and like
Hmm.
it became this whole new idea, like you said. Um, I will give some updates on her grave. You can no longer mark it with an X, because the the different, oh my gosh, it is way past my bedtime. Like the different like chemicals and stuff were breaking down the tomb.
Yeah.
And so people would try to kiss the tomb. That was another thing. And so like all of those things tried to like were breaking down, like you can't mark this anymore. So now people will go to her house instead, which is basically down the road.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say it's like 2 blocks from the cemetery.
yeah. And they'll hang lockets on it, or they'll kiss that, or they'll hang like a lot of people do hair ties now.
Hmm.
Um, Me and Zach went by it on our the last time he was in. I think he left something, but I didn't. I didn't have anything to leave. I
Um,
just well
if you
wishes.
want a quick but detailed thing, the Stuff You Missed in History Class podcast that I
Mm.
talk about all the time, they do have an episode on her, and it's back when their episodes were only 20 minutes. But
Oh,
they are
nice.
but they are very, very well researched
Yeah,
what they do. So it's more from a actual historical and research
yeah,
standpoint than what we're telling you. But so that is a really good short 20-minute
right.
episode if you want more details about what is actually known.
Yeah, and I will say, if you come to New Orleans and you're looking for a tour that is more historical based, the Hotter Than Hell tours are actually really good. They're not. I think I've talked about it on the podcast before too,
Yeah.
because I did one. But they're not like fantastical. They're not like what's the word I'm looking for?
Kitschy or like
Gratuitous. They're not gratuitous. They're
mm,
like they'll tell you what happened because it's not great, a lot of it, but they're
yeah.
going to tell you what history says, and they'll tell you like these are the bigger things that are speculative that people actually believe are true. But they give you a really good historical background on it too, and it's a really fun tour. And it's not a drinking tour, so you can have one drink on your tour, but then you have to be sober enough to go, and they actually enforce it. So if you want to like learn something and not be surrounded by drunk people, that's the one. Anyways, so that's Marie Laveau. You can also listen to Bobby Bear's song that Shel Silverstein wrote. That's a fun time. That's what I grew up. That was my intro to Marie Laveau, was that song. When I was a very small child.
I was
So
just trying to see what tour I took when I went to New Orleans, but finding a receipt in my email from
from 2017,
2017 is
yeah,
not
no,
gonna work. So
yeah, yeah. So go back to Cordelia. We're back to the show, and she oh, we did say she did ask for Marie Laveau for immortality, and Marie was like, "I'm not giving you anything." And then she lit the wigs on fire, and then was obviously immediately asked to leave. So that's where we left Fiona
yeah.
and Marie Laveau. Um, so we go back to Cordelia, and she's doing her plant magic, and her husband Hank shows up and just like scares the crap out of her. And then he's like, "Are we doing it? Are you ready?" And she's like, "I need like 20 more minutes." So obviously she's agreed to do this whole spell thing. So we go to their bedroom and she has done this like whole spell with Hank. She has lit up like candles, and there's fire and there's snakes and there's all everybody's wearing black. Like you're just asking for it at this point.
Mhm.
And they say the spell words,
Yeah.
and throughout the process of them trying to conceive, her eyes go dark black. Like it's not looking like the right way to have a child.
No,
But it
no.
is what they've chosen to do. So here we are. Um, so then we go back to the morgue, and Zoe's bringing Cal out of the morgue, and she takes the morgue guy's car because Madison left her. Um, and Cal is all out of sorts. He is not a regular person. He's not well.
Nope.
And she's just like distraught and yelling at him to like, everything's fine, calm down. I was like, you literally just pieced a man together and brought him back from the dead. Even if everything came back the way it was before he died, he still might need a minute. Like, this is a little much for everyone.
Yeah.
And so, in the midst of all of this, Misty sits up in the backseat and she's like, "Ah, I can help you with that." And she is just, this is probably one of my favorite roles for Lily Robb in this show.
Oh my God.
I love her as Misty Day. Um, and so they go back to her house in the woods, and she's putting like algae grass and gator like dung and stuff on him. She's like, "This is how you heal. This is how I healed
She
when I
said
was
this
like,"
stuff is the shit. Literally.
literally, yeah. And she's like, "I'm healing him, it's fine." And then um they start talking about, she's like playing Fleetwood Mac, which obviously like that's her vibe.
Yeah.
And she's talking about how like Stevie Nicks is actually a white witch, and she's like, "We've met before." And she's like, "That's the only witch I've met other than you." And she's just so funny about it. And then she's like, "You just leave Cal here. I'll heal him. I'll see you again. You'll come back, right?"
Well,
Like
because
she's so
at
homely.
first she like thinks that Zoe's just gonna stay there with her and the three of them are gonna like hang
I
out
know,
forever, and she's
Lily.
like, I gotta go. And she's like, don't leave me.
I know, bless her. She's so lonely. But the last people she knew killed her. Like,
Yeah.
it's a rough life. So it's a bummer of a life for her. But so she leaves Cal there, and Misty's gonna take care of him, heal him, bring him back, and then they'll bring him
Whatever.
back to
Yeah.
life. And then we have a brief scene with Marie Laveau where she is with the Minotaur,
Who is
who
somehow also still alive.
is still alive. So it's a thing coming up. So we go back to Laurie, and Fiona finds her downtown at her house.
Yeah.
Um, and
And to be honest, listen, Delphine LaLaurie, terrible person. Real life version of her, zero sympathy. Had ever, ever.
absolutely right.
This woman,
Kathy Bates
also,
version.
Kathy Bates version, also a terrible person.
Sure.
But like in this moment, like she's been locked in a box by herself for 180 years with no concept of time. She comes back up. Nothing in her life makes any sense. And her house is like dedicated to how shitty of a person she was. And she's like, what? She was like, I didn't even do anything that wrong. I was just a person of my time. And Fiona goes,
At
the
first,
fuck you were.
right.
She's
Right.
immediately like, no, you're horrible.
You were
You're
also
awful.
bad then.
And
You were
she's
bad in
like,
our time and your time.
and she's like, yeah, I guess so. And she's just like so pathetic that I like almost felt bad for her. And I was like,
I know. Because she's like a little lost child. That's what she seems
yeah.
like. Um,
I'm sure once she
so-
comes into her own in 2013, she's going to be an awful fucking person too. But like,
Sure. I mean, because even like talking about it, because she's like, "That's all I miss." She's like, "This is where my girls were hung. Like, that's all I miss." Even the ugly one. I was
yeah.
like, "Homegirl, you are not bringing yourself any more sympathy for this." And then she's like, "Are you a witch?" I'm like, "What was your first clue? Like, which part made you think she was a witch?" And she's like, I just really hoped you were so that you could like help me
Kill
figure
me.
out how to die. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm probably gonna kill you, but not yet.
Not today.
Yeah. But she does threaten to put her back in the box if she leaves. And she's like, so don't do that. And that's the end of our episode. So I forgot to do trivia. So what are your thoughts?
You didn't forget to do trivia. It's just all in the trivia from last episode page.
There is, but I thought I had more on here too.
Oh, okay. You just told me last episode, don't let me forget to read this page.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've told you a lot of it.
Mm.
Let's see. Um, yes. Oh, also, the only thing I didn't tell you was when Misty Day saves that bird, she saves the Java Finch. Um, that can't be a Java Finch because they originate in Indonesia and don't live anywhere else.
Correct.
So that is an error.
Yeah.
Um, that is all I had left that I hadn't already mentioned in the middle of the episode.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts?
Um, I'm sure nothing is gonna go well.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's American Horror Story in a nutshell.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna go well.
No.
Um, no, these are stupid. Um, yeah, no, none of that makes sense. It's okay. We don't have any trivia. Yeah. So this is, I mean, just the beginning. We're gonna get more
Yeah.
characters that are essential to New Orleans history.
Oop.
I don't. You have to look up what the next episode was.
Is the Axeman gonna be in it?
I don't know. I have no idea what to tell you.
Oh my God, the Axeman of New Orleans is like my favorite unsolved
He is.
murder.
Yeah. That's a wild story.
It's my favorite unsolved murder.
Yeah.
Like I feel the same way about the Axeman of New Orleans that I do about Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, they're very like well, there's even like there were like theories that he came here and like he became a Ripper here and like they just didn't catch him and it got attributed to somebody else. Like
Yeah, I will
because
say,
there's the whole immortality element of everything.
yeah, I will say, as much as I didn't love Patricia Cornwell's style of writing, the
Mhm.
actual information that she has and her ability, like, and what she believes is the theory of who Jack the Ripper is, I'm fully on board. I think she's right. Like the evidence is all there.
Um, I don't remember this episode, so I'm so sorry I cannot give you any
That's
information
fine.
about what it's about.
Okay.
But yeah, we will have more characters that are essential to New Orleans. We will have more magic and voodoo, obviously.
Yeah.
And we'll see a little bit more of Kyle, obviously, coming out of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we have to come. And that's one thing about like I mean a lot of American Horror Story is very linear, but this season in particular is like you get the last episode and it goes to the next episode. Like you're not skipping around.
That's
This
good.
is a story. So like we left off with Kyle being deranged. We're gonna come back and see Kyle next episode. Like
Yeah.
it's just part of how it goes.
Yeah.
Which is another reason. It's like I mean I think Ryan Murphy really found himself in the season. And then he went a little wacky, but in the next one. But he has and I'll say the next season, I'm not telling you what it's about. The next season,
Isn't that
he's
season
probably
freak show?
yeah, it's fine, but it's just bonkers. I will tell you there were some Easter eggs in this episode for foreshadowing, and I'm
Oh,
wondering
for
if you,
foreshadowing, not for things that
yeah,
are
no,
that
no, no,
are
for this season that are foreshadowing
okay.
this season. Was there anything that you think stuck out that you think is gonna come back?
Um,
Not like Blade, like obviously the Minotaur's coming back because
yeah.
you know.
No, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
we'll circle back to that.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't really looking for it.
Um, this this show has Easter eggs for future episodes of this season. A lot. There's a lot
No,
that's gonna come
I guess
up.
I know that it does, but like I when I'm watching it for the first time, I can't really.
Yeah.
It's hard to see that.
Mhm. No, I know, and I really want to see like if you're like if it's the first time you're gonna pick up on a thing because like this is my third time watching it, maybe my fourth time. I don't know how many times I've watched the season, but third or fourth. So obviously I know what they are when they come up, but I want to see like as a first time viewer, like if there's anything like obviously we've talked about this episode, but like throughout the show, like if there's something that comes up that you're like this really stuck out to me, and I think this means something.
Yeah.
So just as we go, mention those things if they stick out
Okay.
to you. Um, because I don't remember the first time I watched it, I don't remember picking up anything that they didn't tell me. Like if they weren't like, this
I
is
mean,
happening, I
I
didn't pick it
know
up.
it's weird, but I'm sure the Stevie Nicks thing is gonna come back.
No, sorry, I hit my headphones weird.
Like I'm sure the idea of Stevie Nicks being a witch is gonna come back, whether Stevie Nicks is a
Well,
kid.
I mean, have you seen Misty Day?
Right.
She's, you know.
Like that's gonna come back. But
I think it's hard to tell some of the Easter eggs.
yeah,
Like I think that he did a really good job of the season with
yeah, I don't know.
hiding things. But yeah. All right. Well, that's our episode.
Well,
So,
first I'm gonna
oh,
punch some
that's
daisies.
not our episode. Just kidding. That's not it. Ooh, do you want to punch in the face?
Zoe. She's an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, oh my
Such an
gosh.
idiot.
I I cannot deal. I cannot deal with her this season. Like
She's
I
so
love
dumb.
Tyson Target, but she
She's
is
so
the dumbest
dumb.
person on the planet.
Yeah.
Um, so you picked her.
Yeah.
Um, who did I pick last week? Do you remember?
Last week you
Did I
picked.
pick Mount Laurie?
No, because I did. You picked Fiona.
Hey, I was gonna pick Fiona today. I won't pick her again. That's what I was trying to think. I was like, did I pick her last week? Um, I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Hank. He's trying to push dark magic on having a baby. And that
Yeah.
just feels dangerous.
Yeah, I
Feels
agree.
dangerous.
It's not great.
So, yeah. Um, who is your MVP?
Misty.
I love her so much. I love her.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I think my MVP is gonna be Nan, just because she cracked me up when she was like, "You're
Fair.
thinking too loud."
Yeah.
Because
I'm
you cannot. I mean, I couldn't
I
control myself. I would have lost my mind.
oh no, that's what I'm excited for. We now know how the other three got there. And obviously Cordelia's mom is the Supreme, so she didn't really have a choice. Um,
Yeah.
I want to know how Nan got there. What did she do?
Yep.
Um,
We love Nan.
yeah.
All right. Well, that is actually our episode. We've
Yes.
finished it.
Yes.
So if you want to talk to us, you can email us, deathandaliens@gmail.com. You can find us on all of the social media at Death and Aliens. You can find me at CE Cloud 13.
And you can follow me everywhere at EMKAY_superstar.
And we'll see you on Sci-Fi Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.